What's up? We've got another clown fiesta. This is an off-race matchup once again. This is our green Terran this time, Timbo Slice, up against the pink Protoss B-Breed. So, B-Breed, as the Terran player, I think he has the advantage here just because he is more aware of what his opponent can potentially do. He at least knows what Terran units do. Timbo, on the other hand, probably not entirely sure what Protoss units might be coming his way and what to look out for when he scouts. So give a slight edge to B-Breed. He also historically has liked to do proxy Stargates. Let's see if he does that again. I don't know when the last time B-Breed played Protoss, but that was his plan in the past. So cheeky probe coming out, perhaps? Where's it going? Not really sure. Where's that? Where did he click that to? In any case, we've got a probe going out. We'll see if that's for the pylon or what. He's starting things off with a gateway cybercore. Can't really deviate too much from that. Not really spending his energy for chrono boosting. Maybe he'll save that to chrono boost his Stargate or whatever later on. Probe looks like it wanted to go for a scout, but not able to get into the main base because it's walled off. And interesting building placement here from Timbo. He's got a low ground barracks and a high ground barracks, and he's got a Reaper on the way, but it was very delayed. Both players gonna be expanding, so pretty standard stuff so far. B-Breed is floating a bit of money. 300, almost 400 now. And needs to think about tech. And alright, it's gonna be a robo facility. Guess we're not seeing a Stargate this game. And that's gonna make B-Breed's life a little bit more difficult because it is those Stargate units that really give people trouble. I think Gateway Robo has kind of been figured out. Of course, Timbo not really good at this race. I mean, 3 Reapers 3 minutes into the game, that's insane. But it might just work out for him because B-Breed only has 2 Stalkers. Reapers are much more mobile than Stalkers. So the Reaper's gonna jump in and they're gonna circumvent the Stalkers for now. And they do give chase, but the Reapers, they are gonna not do anything, actually. I'm gonna jump into the natural. Gonna find 1 probe. 2 probes, okay! I see you, Timbo, but that's about it. You can't jump. Oh wait, can you jump down there? Huh. What do you know? Alright, so able to get away. Nicely done. All 3 Reapers survive. But 2 workers kind of want more than that after committing so much. And Timbo floating money, once again, as Timbo do. Got his 2 bases, but his worker count quite low, only at 26. B-Breed is going for a 3rd. This is crazy. That's a super early 3rd. Observer gonna float on in and spot the factory, both factories, all 3 factories rather. And that's an interesting build. Timbo's going some kind of mech? Okay. You're gonna need more workers though, Timbo. 31. Reaper's gonna jump back in, gonna find not a whole lot, kills himself with the grenade there. 2 Reapers remaining, and they're not gonna find that probe. No, they don't. So these Reapers have not been worth it thus far. Only 2 probes going down. And look at this, Timbo microing his Reapers, and look at his money. Oh dear lord. Please. 1800 minerals. B-Breed a little bit better with his 700 in the bank. He's going for +1 now. He's getting some units, I guess. 3 Stalkers and a Immortal. That's a group of units. Now starting Colossus. Warp Gate technology. Super late. Only 2 gateways? 3, 4, 5 going down. And yeah, Colossus on the way. Need to research that thermal lance if you want to commit to more Colossus. Not sure if B-Breed knows about that upgrade. Does give your Colossus extra range, very useful. However, Timbo, look at this, setting up a bit of a Sim City over here. This is pretty wild. He's got a bunch of barracks in the main, reactors going down on most of them. That's the tech lab. The other ones are reactors. He's got triple factory with tech labs pumping out siege tanks, I guess. Colossus walking into the main base. What? What? And that's gonna go down. What were you doing there, big guy? Probably just a miss rally. B-Breed's rallies never been good. But it's just gonna be Marine tank, it looks like, out of Timbo, and Marines absolutely melt to Colossus once you get a few of them. Luckily for Timbo, that one Colossus went down pretty easily there. Another observer showing up. B-Breed expanding like a madman. He's up to 68 probes. The macro is on point for this man here. Another Colossus, where are you going? Okay, he is regrouping with his army. B-Breed, the one floating a lot of money now. Timbo, I guess all these barracks allowing him to spend his money. Not bad. He's got his 3rd CC. Can lift that up and land it whenever he chooses. But it's just gonna be Marines and tanks. It looks like no medevacs on the field just yet, so Timbo gonna have to be very cautious of his stims. Speaking of which, stim about, what is that, 70% of the way done. Another observer. Wait, is this the same observer? How many observers does he have? 2 observers, 1 with the army. Okay. That's cool. And yeah, gonna wanna throw in some medevacs. He does have the starport with the reactor, so could get them 2 at a time. And Timbo does have his 1-1, I believe. Upgrades. Yep, there we go. 1-1. And B-Breed. Ooh, getting that thermal lance. Thank you, sir. And going for the armor upgrade now as well. Twilight Council. Okay. That's going to allow him to go for either Blink or maybe just go for like DTs or High Templars or something. And we all know Timbo absolutely crumbles up against storms. But this army as it is, I don't know. Tanks going to be pretty good. They're not all siege though, so B-Breed with an opportunity. Timbo does now siege up, and B-Breed cannot stick around. He does wisely pull back. And yeah, you don't need to get too crazy here, B-Breed. You've you've got many bases, you got a lot of income. So just chill for a while, spend that money, max out, and yeah, it should be just fine. Timbo, I'm gonna reposition his tanks a little bit more forward. I'd like to see maybe a spread here. Not that it's the most important in this matchup, but if somehow these Colossus get close enough, they can hit all of those at once. And behind this, Timbo is supply blocked, but he has been doing a lot better with that money spending. Props to him. Maybe you should switch to Terran. And oh, what's happening here? Timbo feeling a bit adventurous. Baits out a Colossus and just blows it up. Not sure if that was intentional. In fact, probably not, but it worked out for him there. He's got some medevacs now. One Marine chilling in that medevac does not want to participate in the festivities. And Timbo getting his 2-2 now. B-Breed does have his 1-1, so he's also going up to 2-2. And going up to, wow, 5th and 6th bases. Timbo moving forward, gonna spot this army. Oh, I don't know about this. Alright, tanks do siege up, so he is fine. But don't forget about your macro, Timbo. Keep up that production. And be careful against all those Colossus, these Marines. Oh no. Timbo shooting these rocks. Probably should have done that earlier, but now these Marines just melting to the Colossus beams. Tanks pretty good though. And picking up some Marines even. Not sure if that was intentional. This Observer, the real MVP, just spotting everything. And B-Breed with the expansions. Oh my god, 91 probes. B-Breed is a madman. Definitely could use some more production though. 4.4 thousand minerals, 2,000 gas. Really need to spend that. Get like 2 or 3 robos. Get another like 8 gateways. Just go crazy, man. You got money for days. Timbo though, drying up. He doesn't have a 4th in sight. Only 46 workers, and he needs to make something happen. And uh-oh, the army's about to clash. Timbo not siege. He does siege up now, but that gives B-Breed a... I was gonna say he had the opportunity, but the tanks do siege up in time, so Timbo's okay. I still don't like his unit composition. Marines by themselves against Colossus, not ideal. Whoa, bold blink from B-Breed, and I don't know if that's gonna work out. He's gonna lose all of his army. And what did he get for that? Oh my goodness, did B-Breed just throw this game? Scan going down to pick off these observers. Nice pick off there. I don't know if he saw like the little bubble thingy, whatever you want to call it. But that was a good scan. And yeah, tank's gonna be pretty good. B-Breed just not really getting the right stuff. Now his back's against the ropes despite his massive income advantage. Definitely think he handled that a little bit poorly. Maybe want to get some charge zealots so they can close the distance, get on top of these tanks. Timbo doing an excellent job right now. And gotta be careful with those huge unsieges like that, but it's gonna work out this time around. We've got another handful of Marines over here. And Timbo's still producing stuff. He's actually been pretty on top of that. Lots of gas in the bank. That's pretty standard for Terran. Not really sure what gas heavy stuff to get. Maybe transition of Ghosts. Ghosts are pretty good against Protoss, but also incredibly hard to use, so don't blame him for not doing that. Now Timbo going for a huge drop into the main. I said Timbo going for a huge drop into the main. There you go. All right. But the siege not there. Can B-Breed capitalize on this? Maybe, yes. He does clean up the tanks in the main base. And now he can, maybe not jump down. But still, that's a very good pick off. That was a good, like, what, 5, 6 tanks over there. And despite losing this base, despite losing a lot of army in that botched fight over here, B-Breed didn't lose any workers, I don't think. So he still has these 2 bases. And hold that thought, he is gonna run in. And Timbo forced to turn tail and flee. How much is he gonna lose in the process, though? And Timbo's gonna pick up, try to evacuate, but a big blink in. And can he get those full medevacs? Oh! Timbo boosts out of there. But what does he have behind this? 85 supply, not much. And B-Breed should be able to carry this forward into a victory. And GG gets called. B-Breed gonna take that game. Back. This is game number 2 in this PVT Clown Fiesta between the green Terran. This is gonna be Timbo Slice and the blue Protoss, B-Breed. The real story of last game was B-Breed's ridiculous macro, going up to 90 something probes, going up to like 6 bases, and despite kind of throwing away his units a few times, he just had macro for days. Production again I think was a bit lacking, but all in all pretty solid, to be quite honest, out of the Terran player who is currently playing Protoss. And Timbo, curiously enough, was doing an okay job spending his money. Only thing is, wasn't really expanding, keeping up with B-Breed, and his unit composition, Marine tank, was a bit lacking. Yeah, kind of want something else against Colossus. Maybe Marauders, maybe Ghosts. And if you want to get fancy, you know, get some Ghosts, drop the EMPs, maybe get some Ravens to throw down the interference matrix. I doubt we're going to see too many spellcasters in this series. I don't think these guys even know how to use the spellcasters of their main races, so can't really expect them to go for like Ghosts, Ravens, High Templars, what have you. But just a thought, just an idea. And both players this game going for relatively early expansions. Once again, this is Pride of Valteris, so large map usually means long macro games. We'll see if that is the case. Sometimes players go for the mind games and go for like a rush, expecting that their opponent will expect a long macro game. But I feel like they're just gonna try to macro up and go into the mid to late game. B-Breed does have his Cyber Core, and this time going for a Twilight Council. That is interesting. I wonder if that's gonna be for DTs or something. This gas not mining optimally. You're gonna want to put a couple more probes in there if you want DTs or High Templars or anything, really. You want a little bit more gas. Protoss tends to be pretty gas heavy. Timbo going for double factory in the main. He's got a tech lab on one. Let's see what he chooses to do with the other. Tech lab on two. Okay, so it might just be the same thing as last game, I'm guessing. Marine tank. I don't hate it, since B-Breed doesn't have Colossus yet. This Twilight Council, not sure what it's for still, not being upgraded, and not getting Templar Archives or a Dark Shrine. So, yeah. Not sure what that's for just yet. Now he is going for Robo Facility and Bay, so that does imply Colossus once again. Still wondering what this Twilight is for, though. And Timbo going for a quicker third this time around, I think. And double armory behind this. Ooh, so this is gonna be mech, it sounds like. And that's pretty interesting. This is a good map to take like 5 bases on and turtle up and get a maxed out mech army, which can be extremely powerful. B-Breed going for the third now, and it looks like still not utilizing that Twilight, by the way. And yeah, all we see so far is 2 gateways. And alright, there you go, finally a Templar Archives. But all we see is 2 gateways, Robo Facility, and that's it for now. Wait, no warp gate research? Hello? These gateways have just been producing units the old-fashioned way. Oh no. That's a big mistake. Warp gate only costs 50 minerals, 50 gas. So unless you're going for like some kind of all-out Stargate build, you really should get that. Only just starting it now. And probably not going to impact them too much, but it's super late. And units do take longer to produce the old-fashioned way compared to the warp-ins. And B-Breed now throwing down some extra gateways. Definitely needs that production. Scan going down into the main. And Timbo's going to spot everything. Spots the Robo, spots the Twilight, spots the Templar Archives. And I would feel pretty good if I were Timbo, because I'm going mech. Mech doesn't completely melt to storms. So that's a good sign for Timbo Slice, who is producing Thors. He's researching his mech upgrades, and yeah, just powering up right now, getting these Transformer guys This skin looks pretty cool, by the way. Forgot what skin this is. You can't really get a good angle on their front, but pretty shiny. And B-Breed continuing the ridiculous macro, going for a 4th base already. Warp Gate about to finish. Did he get Thermal Lance yet? No. Once again, didn't get that upgrade. Going for Storm, which is obviously a good skill, but it's hard to control your army, and against mech, not the best ability. And I think Gateway Robo in general gonna have a tough time against mech. Maybe Immortals could be good, but I think generally you want to go up to carriers. Maybe some Void Rays, Sky Toss in general, get some Void Rays, carriers, Tempests. And for the ground, have some Charged Zealots so they can close the distance, force the tanks to splash on their own buddies. And Timbo throwing down barracks? Well, if you go in mech, you don't really want barracks. So that's weird. I mean, if you have spare minerals, you just throw that into Hellbats. There's no reason to get bio, I don't think. So that's questionable from Timbo here. B-Breed looking like he wants to fight. That's a pretty hefty Protoss army. He's gonna find this base here. The Thor are here, and they're not gonna be enough by themselves. And what? We're just gonna see a GG? Oh my god. Alright, welcome back. I guess this is game number 3, but we are done with the Clown Fiesta. This is a normal matchup now. Both players' main races. This is the pink Zerg Timbo Slice and the orange Terran B-Breed. So, last 2 games, we've learned that B-Breed's Protoss is better than Timbo's Terran. Not too shocking because Protoss is stupid, but I think Timbo kind of squandered a bit in those games. Not sure where his tanks were in that last fight, but that's not important. This is the real matchup, and I think typically B-Breed has the advantage here. He is known as the Zerg Slayer in certain circles. If you go to some shady nightclubs in the upper west side, you ask around for the Zerg killer, they'll know who you're talking about. And yeah, gonna start things off with a Reaper. Haven't seen this in a while out of B-Breed. Let's see if he got some damage done. Timbo going for a quick third. And I don't like this, to be quite honest. I do like early thirds, but I think this is a little too early. And then by the time this pool finishes, he's not going to have enough money for 2 queens at once. He's not going to have enough money to start lings as well. So it kind of just makes things messy. Like, what do you do now? You start 4 lings, okay, fine. But where are your queens? You're only starting 1 queen there. And yeah, just a mess. You have the gas for speed, but do you want to start speed or do you want to start another queen? It's, like I said, just very messy. Now Reaper gonna come in, might find a, doesn't get that first drone. So good micro there from Timbo, turning that into a spine crawler. But note to the wise, I guess, I don't know why I phrased it like that. A spore is cheaper than a spine crawler, even when you cancel it. So better off making a spore instead of spine. Unless, of course, you plan to keep the spine anyways, then sure, by all means. But the Reaper didn't accomplish a whole lot, and things are now progressing along for Timbo on his 3 bases, transferring drones to the 3rd, which is a little bit risky with the Reaper on the field. Looks like he might get away with it. Gonna lose 1, maybe 2 Zerglings there. This Queen needs to help out. Where's she going? And yeah, this Reaper, 2 kills under its belt. Gonna be able to heal up. And despite the 3 hatch, Timbo is not very rich and floating a lot of money once again. He does start up 7 drones. Now he's supply blocked. And B-Breed is untouched back at home. He's been on top of his spending for the most part. Extra barracks on the way. He's got his 3rd CC. Overlord gonna fly in. Gonna be able to confirm that there is no battle cruiser opening. And Timbo should be breathing a sigh of relief because that build just crushes him pretty frequently. And he's going to be free to drone up for the next couple minutes. He does need to watch out for this timing, this marine tank timing that B-Breed has been favoring as of late. And Overlord is going to go down. I feel like it could have gotten away up there, but alas, it was not meant to be. Double engineering bay for double upgrades. And yeah, worker count's a little too close for my liking for the Zerg player. Credit to B-Breed though, he's always producing SCVs, triple SCV production in fact. These rallies, not quite, and oh, what is he saying? Oh, the Overlord here went down. I guess it wasn't quite in position, not really sure. But yeah. Sometimes you're a little mispositioned. You can spot it, go down, and it's unfortunate. Timbo's creep spread, pretty nice so far. Spend these energies, drop a couple more creep tumors on this side maybe. This is the most important, as I tend to say, the 3rd base, so extend that here, sure. But you've got 4 active tumors here, maybe show some love to the other sides. And Timbo, he is going up to his lair, so we are going to be seeing what the tech is gonna be. He has his Baneling Nest. Let's see if he goes for Mutas or Hydras. Timbo is typically a Hydra boy, but I do believe he has shown interest in broadening his horizons. So let's see if he decides to go for Mutas or what. Timbo, B-Breed now landing his third base. Getting his 1-1, and I'm curious if he moves out with this 1-1 for a 1-1 timing. It's going to finish around the same time as Stim as well, so that could be pretty strong. Timbo's 1-1 not far behind, however, so probably won't be able to find a timing where you have that upgrade advantage. Timbo really needs to think of a fourth base soon, however. He got his third very early, but fourth is quite late. And drone count very poor, to be completely frank with you. None of these bases fully saturated. He's only at 49 compared to the 63 of his opponent. You never want to be behind, especially as a Zerg. So he is gonna want to find some damage with this attack. No Bane speed just yet. Oh, just finishes. And Timbo rolling in. Tanks not sieged, so big opportunity here. Gonna get most of them. And still no siege from B-Breed, a little bit late anyways. And nice attack there from Timbo, catching all those tanks unsieged. I don't think he had vision or anything, so it was just kind of lucky. But sometimes luck is what you need, and that's going to set B-Breed quite behind. His tank count completely reset. I don't think he has a single tank on the field. And his army down to 2 Marines, 2 Medivacs, and now 4 Marines. 2 Marauders, 2 Medivacs, 4 Marines, and a single tank. So very nicely done from Timbo there, and very much needed considering he was behind in workers there. Now he is going up to a Spire. He does have his Hydraless Den as well. Don't think a single Hydra has been produced. And that fourth base has been planted. So Timbo setting himself up pretty nicely for the later stages of the game. 16 drones in production. That's going to put him up to a fantastic number, as we see here. It's very nice. And yeah, Spire almost done. He should, well, not going to have minerals to really make any mutas, but that's an option. And Timbo doesn't really like to get mutas until he randomly gets like 30, and then he'll move out. Strange choice, but does sometimes work for him, catching his opponent way off guard. This extractor, not sure how long it's been up, but hasn't been mining at all whatsoever. Fourth base, fully saturated in terms of minerals. Doesn't really need more gas, really, so it's okay skipping those for now. Timbo gonna break down these rocks. That's good, so the Terran can't siege up behind there. Timbo gonna need to clean this up, and he needs to spend his money and get more stuff. And I really hope Timbo does not run in right now. Please, for the love of God, wait for your 58 additional Zerglings. If you run in now, I will disown you. You're out of the family. Please turn in your keys. But the lings do spawn, so that's good. B-Breed He's guilty of this very often. He just chills out on creep. Timbo has full vision of this. Going in from one angle, often ill-advised. Crashing in Banelings onto Marauders, also ill-advised, but he just has so much. And he's going to be able to overrun everything on the ground at least. Except for these 3 Marauders, I guess. Which do get picked up and ferried on over back to the Terran base, which is under attack now. And these Lings going to be able to chew through most of this Terran stuff. Now we see those 22 mutas from Timbo. Is he going to send them to do damage, or is he going to wait for something? Nice hold position there, because the Lings will auto attack the army. So if you hold position, they'll nibble at the SCVs. And here are the mutas. There we go. Gonna fly in, pick up these fresh mules. Oh, that's painful. Wait. Alright, he doesn't go for those. Okay. Gonna get this missile turret, gonna find this natural mineral line, and gonna get away from the Marines. Goes into the natural. Gets that missile turret as well. And yeah, causing absolute havoc in the Terran base right now. 30 SCVs going down. Bouncing back into the natural. Gonna get a few more there. And going back to the 4th, gonna get a few more there. Not the best target firing, but 34 SCVs, that's nice. And behind this, Timbo, lots of Lings. He's got his adrenal glands on the way. He's got +3 melee on the way. Not sure why it's not lined up with +3 Carapace. He does have the money. And an Ultralisk Cavern on the way as well. That is a natural transition. Although Ultras, I guess they're good enough against this army. Gotta be careful of these Marauders. Fevered is quite Marauder heavy. But honestly, I think these Lings alone could probably take this army. He does start up 23 Banelings, which is the safer call. Have some Banelings with this. Mutas should be going in to try to like clean up reinforcements, clean up these tanks. And yeah, Timbo gonna run in with his Lings and Banes. Marauders in the front, soaking up a lot of Banes, but it doesn't matter. Timbo has so much right now. Big Daddy Thor showing up, but he's not gonna be enough. And that's another cleanup from Timbo, who is now over 100 supply up. And his economy's been widely untouched. This game is going up to 5th and 6th bases. And B-Breed, with his 4 bases, 39 workers, is really quite dead. And if you're wondering how that's spelled, it's D-E-D, dead. The Timbo, massive Lingbane army here, getting some Ultras, getting that chitinous plating. Still no +3 armor. Bit of a mistake there, but don't matter. This guy's so rich, he's maxed out. He's just gonna run in with Lings. He's not even gonna wait for the Ultras. He doesn't give a care in the world. Gonna funnel through this tiny choke. Gonna give B-Breed every opportunity, but it's not gonna be enough. Just crashing into the mineral line, crashing into these Marines, and GG gets called. Timbo slice with the victory there. Welcome back to game number 4, I guess. I don't really know how you want to differentiate it because the first 2 games were off race, but here we are. This is a ZVT between the pink Zerg, the Taiwanese Terror, Timbo Slice, and the green Terran, Burmese Bandit, B-Breed. So, the Zerg Slayer B-Breed, not living up to his name in that last game. Falling victim to a nice and honestly kind of lucky attack from Timbo, catching all the tanks unsieged. But hey, that is a good pickoff from Timbo, and that was B-Breed's mistake, just being out there. So here we are on Hardwire. B-Breed going for a double gas opening. Timbo doing standard stuff. I'm gonna guess that this barracks gonna produce a Marine. And yep, Marine in production. Factory on the way. And the orbital, of course. We'll have to wait and see if we're gonna get that starport. I think this might be a good map to do it on. Timbo once again going for that fast early triple hatch. And once again we see, not really sure what to spend his money on. Goes for 2 queens this time. So no lings, no ling speed just yet. He does have the money now, but delaying that still. That's fine, you don't really need ling speed that urgently. And B-Breed going for double factory. Okay. So is this going to be some kind of blue flame Hellion rush? That could be cute. And yeah, there we go. That blue flame, the infernal pre-igniter upgrade, allows the Hellions to shoot the blue flames, the hotter flames. I think they're like something like 1,000,000 degrees. Don't quote me on that, but it gets really hot. And you know what they say, when you're hot, you're hot. I'm gonna lift up that factory onto the reactor so it can start pumping out additional Hellions, 2 at a time. Going for a Cyclone as well. So are we gonna see a Hellion Cyclone composition? I don't think we've ever seen B-Breed go for that. But that could be very strong. It is often quite hard to deal with. Hellion gonna come out Cyclone as well. That's gonna clean up those 4 lings, but this command center did get delayed. Overlord simultaneously going for a scout, not gonna spot too much, but if he's paying attention, he could see this tech lab wiggling away. And there's only a couple things it could be researching. It does depend on whether or not Timbo was paying attention. But that blue flame is ready now. Lots of lings coming out for Timbo. Lings obviously not ideal against blue flame Hellions, but this many lings, I think he might be okay. Here comes B-Breed. This 4 Hellion, 4 Marine, 2 Cyclone force. You gotta wait up for your units though. Don't want to get your Hellions caught in the middle of the map by themselves. Gonna lose 3 right off the bat there. And then the rest of this army not that scary after losing the brunt of your Hellions there. So, nice catch from Timbo, and B-Breed getting a little too ahead of himself, those Hellions. 24 more Zerglings, excuse me, from Timbo. Normally if you clean up an army like that, you just hold down the drone key, but Timbo going the other way, getting more army. And if you go for more army, you kind of want to do something with them. Currently just chilling, which is a bit of a waste. I do think he could probably take this Terran army if he wanted to. This Overlord spotting everything, so Timbo should be more than prepared. His worker count, not the greatest, but he is up in that. No Bane speed, so you probably don't want to chase this. Yeah, these Banes, B-Breed can kite this all day. Back up, go on creep, wait for him to come to you. There's no reason to take the fight that early off creep. And Timbo once again chasing off creep, gonna lose a lot of units here. More Zerglings in production. He still has a lot of money. And Baneling speed just now starting. And good control from B-Breed, being very cautious, pulling back when the units chase. And things are getting dicey for Timbo. Not the best connections there, but they're okay. But Ling's not what you want against Blue Flame Hellions. And all the Banelings do go down. More Lings spawning, but these units in a very good position for the Terran player. In between the bases, you're going to catch the rallies. And yeah, look at that. They just stream in single file. And you might clean this up. Yes, we do finally get a clean up from Timbo. But he lost a lot doing that. 3,600 lost for the Zerg player, 200 gas. And 2,800, 300 for the Terran. But Timbo still has that worker lead, just barely. He is still pumping out Lings though, and I don't know about this. His economy now kinda crap. B-Breed planning for the future, going up to a third base. He's getting double armory, so he's committing to mech. He's throwing in some siege tanks, so it's not just going to be a Hellion Cyclone brand of mech. It's looking like it's going to be more standard mech, throwing some siege tanks, some Thors. Slow this game down. That makes things really difficult for the Zerg player. And does Timbo recognize this? He saw two factories, but does he know that it's fully mech? I'm not sure. Upgrades, no real upgrades for either player. B-Breed is getting his 1-1 for mech now. Drops a scan, gonna clean up some creep, but doesn't see the army of Zerg. Gonna need to be careful, and oh no! Gonna lose all these Hellbats before they do anything. But here come the tanks. Timbo just spent a lot of Banes, so no! You gotta morph more Banes, and crashing Banes into a tank. That's what we call a yellow jello maneuver. And now we've got two tanks over here. But the Lings streaming in. Can they clean this up? Yeah, I think so. If they jump on the tanks, maybe just barely. No, Timbo's gonna pull back. And worker counts, again, very even. So it's not like Timbo is super rich here. It's not like he can, you know, buy time, gather more resources than his opponent. No, he's He's on 48 workers, 3, almost 4 bases, trying to get up to Hydras, but I don't know if Lingbane Hydra is really ideal against this composition. And 1-1 for the Terran, about to finish, only just starting for the Zerg players, so Beabreed gonna have an advantage in that department. He needs to not hang out for too long though, because Timbo could just gather more stuff and collapse onto this army. Hopefully he goes for a bit of a surround, position some units here, position some of your units here, and just engulf the army from multiple sides. But yeah, Ling Hydra, I don't think there's even any Banelings in here. Not the best unit composition for this. Hellions and Hellbats, of course, do bonus against light units, which these all are. And he's gonna run in and toast so much stuff. And yeah, all those Lings just completely vanished. GG gets called, and Beabreed, the Zerg Slayer, gonna take that game. Welcome back to this matchup between the pink Zerg Timbo Slice and the purple Terran Beabreed. Beabreed going for mech last game, pretty cool to see that. He has been really showing us an assortment of builds lately, and that's pretty scary. This man can do it all. Let's see what he brings out in this game. And on the other side of things, Timbo's gonna need to polish up his defenses a little bit. I think that unit composition, not the best. Ideally, I think Lingbane, Roach Ravager, probably the best composition against mech. Lurkers also viable, but they do take a while to get up there. And considering Beabreed didn't really have too much anti-air, maybe Mutas could have been a cool choice. This game, I don't think we're going to see mech again. This is a short map, Curious Minds. It's going to take a while before we find out what it's going to be. Timbo. Oh no! Oh no! What was that? Cancels the natural. Why? Why did you do that? Oh no! Yeah, that was an OMG moment for sure. He doesn't want to tell his opponent what he did, but we saw that. We all saw that. That was pretty rough. Now he's going for 3 hatch. That spawning pool is done. And oh, that's painful because this base would have been done. So he's gonna start up that queen, gonna start up an overlord because he's supply blocked. And this SCV, where's he going? Beabreed now. Going for reactor factory. An additional barracks. So this might be the classic B-breed build. Not entirely sure just yet, but perhaps just going back to his roots. This SCV comes in. Doesn't really see anything, but we know that this base is super late. B-breed going up to 3 barracks, pumping out Hellions, Marines. And yeah, Timbo still reeling from that early mistake there. Pretty brutal. But he is going for a Baneling nest and mining gas, so is he looking to set up a Baneling bust? We've got 14 Lings on the way. And I don't think he really spotted anything to prompt this. Maybe this weak wall? And yeah, that's certainly a indication that you can go in with Lings and Banes. Probably don't even need Banes at this point. And yeah, he's just gonna run right in, find this mineral line, get a couple SCVs, and get on out of there. It's 5 SCVs it looks like. And yeah, gonna be able to get out. And yeah, I don't like the 28 Ling follow-up. I think that would have been better served as 14 drones. Probably not gonna find additional damage, but if B-breed goes for the counterattack, it could be okay. Timbo is a bit supply block, 55 out of 58. And B-breed is going for a counter, so these extra Lings gonna be useful. This time B-breed grouping his units together and gonna poke up the ramp, but no! Gotta run away now! And these Banelings chasing off creep. They are quite slow, but the Lings doing their best to get the wraparound and do clean up that Terran army. Nice job from Timbo, who does start droning up behind this. Worker counts have been quite even thus far, 24 to 28, but now that the drones spawn, that's going to put Timbo nicely in the lead. He still sees that there is no wall here, so he's going to run in with the Zerglings. And this Widow Mine should have been burrowed a long time ago, but it was not. And this second one goes down as well. There's no drilling claws on those. The front door is also open, so Ling's gonna spill in, and I think that's just gonna be it. Bit of meltdown here from the purple Terran, and GG is gonna get called. Timbo gonna take another map. Hello, hello. This is game number 6, I think, in the series between the blue Zerg Timbo Slice and the red Terran B-Breed. We are at 3-2, curiously enough. Much closer series than we typically get, so it's a good day for StarCraft. Of course, those first 2 games were off race, so technically in a ZVT series, Timbo's up 2-1. Yeah, just let that simmer for a bit. Timbo Slice. He's gonna go for a hatchery. He doesn't really deviate from this all too often, and not really a reason to in this matchup. Early pool builds are kind of trash. The only thing you could really mix up is go for like an early game kind of attack like we saw last game, Lingbane, or if you want to get cute, go for some Roach Ravager, but I don't anticipate we'll be seeing that this game. Timbo once again going for the fast triple hatch, and this time it's 3 hatch before pool. So it was hatch, gas, hatch, pool. And we do see Timbo saying OMG again, because yeah, that is not a normal build. But luckily for him, there is no Reaper. Overlord gonna evade that Marine there. Take this odd path, but should be able to get to safety. We'll keep a close eye on this, as this is the most exciting thing happening right now. Overlord gonna escape into the Terran main base. This is crazy. And now you should maybe turn around, anticipating the Marine to come back, but no, too slow. And that does mean this Overlord is gonna go down. Let's get a full scout off, sees the factory, sees only 1 gas. So it's not a complete loss there. And Timbo does have his 3 bases. And does have enough for speed, which he starts up. Is going to keep drones in gas for now. Let's see what that is for. Drops a creep tumor with the initial queen. What about this one? Yes, second queen drops a tumor as well. And this one goes for the inject. I feel like these 2 bases are the ones that need the creep tumor the most, and maybe this one could have used the inject, but it's okay. B-Breed going for triple CC, walling up his front now, so he's not gonna die to a Ling run by. Of course, that's not coming, but he is on top of that this time around. The creep spread is going, and we do see additional queens dropping creep tumors. Timbo is up to 5 queens currently. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more just because queens are so good, but he's going up to a layer. Relatively earlier layer than we're used to seeing out of Timbo. And the drone count, again, not the greatest. He's just started up 6 more drones and 3 more overlords. It doesn't really need that many overlords right now, so maybe could have spent that on more drones. But this overlord here has gotten itself onto this spot, but no, it wasn't centered. Oh no, you gotta make sure that it's centered here. It's often hard to see sometimes. Bieber going for ugh. Not sure why he said that, because he got that. Oh, he killed his own SCV. Oh, I must have missed that. But yeah, you gotta make sure your Overlord is positioned dead in the center of these things. You might think that this whole thing is safe, and I think parts of it are safe, parts of it are not. You just gotta make sure you're on the center. And Timbo does have a Ling out here, just a spot. He's gonna send those other 4 in to die, but they do confirm this third. And Timbo needs a 4th at this point. Is gonna drop that down, so nice job there. Drone count again, not the greatest, 57 I think by 6 minutes. You could be up to mid to high 60s even. And Timbo getting a little adventurous this game, going for roaches, going for missile attack. So it's going to be some kind of roach ravager build, I'm guessing. And I don't know about this. Roach ravager can hit a very sharp max out timing, but I don't think Timbo's economy is quite there, and by the time he musters up enough Roach Ravager, B-Breed should have enough stuff. But Timbo getting even crazier, going for burrow and burrow movement, so he wants to get cheeky, but B-Breed has missile turrets in his natural and main. Third, not quite yet, so there may be some vulnerability there. And oh, this makes me so anxious. B-Breed often does not siege his tanks, feeling a little too comfortable at home. And yeah, he's gonna be safe right now, but imagine if a bunch of Lings and Banes just ran in, jumped on top of these, and that's kind of how he lost the first ZVT game. Now we got 29 roaches coming out from Timbo Slice, and he's gonna have enough money in the bank to produce a bunch of Ravagers. He could produce more roaches as well. Tunneling Claws about to complete, so you can go for that burrow shenanigans. Third base, still no missile turrets, so could find an opening there. Fourth base of Timbo is up, but barely running. Additional drones are just now spawning. And oh my god, did he cancel that burrow? Because I swear he had that started on this layer initially, but he must have canceled it because it's not ready. And that's a bit of a mistake. Timbo always canceling his stuff. Don't know what's going on. And yeah, that means this timing gonna be even more delayed, and Roach Ravager, or rather just roaches in this current composition, not gonna be great against these Terran units. And yeah, the power of roaches in this composition, in this matchup, is that you can get a lot of them early, but 9 minutes into the game, that's not really early anymore. And he's going to have a tough time against this. Now, maybe if the tanks are not sieged, this is Timbo's golden opportunity. Going to pick off all these tanks, it looks like. And only bio remaining. The Roach Ravager should be okay, but the roaches have completely thinned out. And now the Ravager's undefended. They're gonna go down. 26 more roaches in production, but they're not here yet. What are these guys doing? So this base gonna go down. 19 drones gonna go down. And these roaches spawning to their deaths. And the reinforcements here should be enough. B-Breed, I don't think you want to take that fight. Just pack up and go home. You did good damage there. If you stick around, gonna lose everything. And yeah, he is gonna stick around and lose everything. So, good cleanup, I suppose, from Timbo, but losing that base pretty painful, sending him down to 56 workers. And the longer he stays on this composition, the worse it's gonna be, because Marine Marauder tank is a little too good. Roach Ravager falls off pretty sharply. And yeah, it's just so supply inefficient. Each of these roaches costing 2 supply, each of these Ravagers costing 3 supply, and they're not cheap either. Ravagers cost 100 when you factor in the cost of the roach as well. And so Timbo now, both players now in the middle of the map. Timbo doesn't want to deal with it. He's just going to run across, and maybe he could take a fight away from the tanks, but no, he's going to funnel through this choke point. He's going to go deep into the Terran base. I don't like this. Oh, no. And he's going to turn around, try to fight the army, but now look at this. He is trapped. He can't get out this way. He can't get out this way. So he's just going to have to find whatever damage he can find. And it's not going to be enough, I don't think. He's going to lose his entire army to do this. Some Biles at the choke point, going to be okay. Gets 21 SUVs. And that's going to equalize the worker count, but again, I don't think that was enough. He lost his entire army there. He's not rich back at home. So, yeah. And there's no transition in sight. It's just going to be Roach Ravager till you die, I guess. And I do think that's the direction Timbo's headed, because he's still on 51 workers. And B-Breed, despite losing the 21, I think, he is still up in workers, actually. He's on 4 bases now, and he is in a pretty good spot. Timbo gonna try to make Burrow happen, finally utilizing that upgrade. He had Burrow movement a long time ago. Burrow was a little bit behind, but yeah, we haven't seen that really utilized at all. And now he's gonna burrow and do what? What's the plan here exactly? He's gonna just move in under the army. That's cute. But we have so many Marauders out of B-Breed, and Marauders, of course, do bonus versus armored, such as roaches, and yeah, they're gonna clean up that roach army. Still no deviation from Timbo, who is down to 100 supply. B-Breed should be able to just win with this next push. +3 attack does finish up for Timbo. And that is a very, very tiny glimmer of hope, but there's just too much Terran, I think. And this Zerg army gonna absolutely crumble here against this tank. He can't even get deep enough to bile the tank. He gets those 2 Liberators, which is nice, I suppose. But B-Breed leaving his tank unprotected, gonna lose that, but does it matter? I think not. Gonna get this base once again, and Timbo gonna try for a miracle engagement, doesn't land the biles, gonna lose everything, and that's gonna be it. GG. Welcome back to this ZVT matchup between the blue Zerg Timbo Slice and the green Terran B-Breed. And a bit of banter going on, but I think his pool was really late. I think that was the oops. But yeah, ultimately didn't work out for Timbo that game, going for the Roaches. And to be fair, it's a very hard unit composition to make work against Bio. Unless your name is Dark, probably should avoid that. So we do have the Terran player up 4 games to 2. However, keep in mind the first 2 games were off race. So technically we're tied up 2-2 in this ZVT match. So maybe let's just discount those first 2 games, make this a best of 5. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the comment section. And Timbo going for 3 hatches once again. Now this time B-Breed going for a Reaper, so we'll see how many kills it gets. Timbo is surprisingly good with the drone surrounds onto Reapers. Not sure how he does it, but he does get it more often than not, to be quite honest. But when he doesn't get it, it's pretty painful because that's a lot of lost mining time. And B-Breed getting a little cheeky himself, going for the gold base. A Reaper making its way across the map now. Spawning pool only just now finishing, so Queens and Lings gonna be a bit away. This Reaper does have a window of opportunity here, does waste time in the natural, so these Lings gonna pop out shortly. B-Breed doesn't even want to try for it, and perhaps that was a wise choice. He does back away, spots the 3rd here, gonna check the gold, but not gonna see anything there. And Timbo now, this Overlord doesn't spot a whole lot, actually. Doesn't see this expansion going down. And Timbo also doesn't have any idea of this base just yet. Reaper poking in once again, firing some shots at that drone. It does escape with its life, and that's the most important thing. And B-Breed with his gold base should be transferring some workers here. It's pretty important to saturate this ASAP as possible. But not going for that, actually. And that's a bit of a mistake. You really want to transfer those SCVs there, get that extra income. But what is B-Breed's plan here? What is he going to do with this extra money? Should just use it to power up and go for a stronger timing. So do your usual thing, but get like extra barracks, maybe produce extra Marines. But yeah, gotta saturate this. I mean, 1-2 SCVs mining from this, that's not really a huge benefit. Transfer some workers. This is, I want to say, a pretty huge mistake, to be quite honest. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna see these players macro up. Timbo going for 5 gases, not getting the 2nd gas in the main for some reason. But that's a lot of gases. What is the plan here? No layer just yet. It's going to be 22 Zerglings in production. He does spot this gold, which has 5 measly SCVs at this point. And Timbo going to send 4 Zerglings to do what? What? Hello? Looks like more Zerglings running in, so maybe he's going to go for an attack on this base, which is largely undefended. Marines making their way across now. And yeah, Timbo has missed his window here. Those first 4 Zerglings probably could have just cleaned up this mineral line. But the Marines and Singular Reaper here should be enough to defend, maybe? Timbo goes for it anyways. It does get a surround. Additional Marines. So okay, Ling's gonna clean this up. And they are gonna be able to clean up this mineral line. And yeah, I mean, just imagine if 12 SCVs were mining from this base from the get-go. That would have meant a lot more extra Marines by this time. So I can't state enough how important it is to just fully saturate this right away. 12 SCVs. Don't slowly make your workers like this. Just transfer them from the natural, transfer them from the main, whatever. You really want to saturate that. And yeah, despite having that gold, look at this. The income favoring the Zerg for the past 4-ish minutes. Small blip here for Terran. But yeah, the gold not really being fully utilized. He does transfer more than necessary now at this point. 18 over 12. But it's better late than never, I guess. And Timbo not going for his own gold, going for this forward base, which is also quite vulnerable. I mean, if you're scared of like a siege back here, that's fine. I feel like this is probably the safer location to get. And he does have his lair going for roaches once again, going for the missile upgrades once again. Let's see if it fares better for him this time. He does have a Hydralisk Den, so it's not going to be just roaches, I guess. Maybe Roach Ravager. And I do think B-Breed kind of squandering this income lead a bit. He does have 1-1 on the way, quite behind his opponent. There is going to be a long period of time where Timbo has upgrade lead. And the rallies from this factory, once again, not set, so these units just hanging out over here. We see a Nidus network going down for Timbo, so he wants to be a little cheeky here. Where's his vision? Can he pop anything up in the main? Oh, we do see this Overseer coming in. And yeah, I think if you drop it right there in the corner, B-Breed might not see it. But he does see it at this spot here. And does B-Breed see it though? He's not paying attention, not looking at his mini-map, not reacting. And so it's gonna burst out now, and oh no! He sees this Zerg army spilling out of the Nidus. He sieges his tanks back here, but his main command center gonna be essentially forfeit. SCVs can't get away, they're trapped. And the bile's gonna rain down. This command center gonna go down. And I think the damage is good enough. Maybe back up. You don't want to lose these Ravagers. Timbo gonna stick around though, and suddenly I don't love his position. Losing all these Roach Ravager. Yeah. Timbo does have a lot of money though, and does remake 27 roaches. Let's pretty much all the larvae he has. And still a lot of money in the bank, as Timbo usually do. Injects has not been on top of those. Look at these queens with their energy. Hello. Oh, this one the only one working. Employee of the month here. Pretty low bar. This one trying to catch up. Injects there. Not sure, like, how does that even happen? Like, you have your camera here, you inject one base, and then you forget about the other one? I don't get it. But B-Breed maybe feeling the pressure, wants to get a little counter damage done. Gonna move forward with one weakened tank and some Marine Marauders. Lots of roaches here from Timbo. He's gonna spill forward. Gonna lose a lot just running in, but should be enough anyways. Eats some of his own biles and does clean it up. Timbo still maxed 19 more roaches in production, and he can afford this. He has the economy to back this up. 70 workers. Not the highest, but it's good enough, and Timbo gonna continue forward. Files down the tank, and what does B-Breed have left? Not a whole lot. He's only on 87 supply, so yeah, this gold base didn't really utilize it properly. I think A, you want to saturate it immediately, and B, you want to use that extra income to go for some kind of timing. GG gets called. Timbo gonna take the lead in the ZVT series 3-2. Welcome back. We are 4-3 in this series overall, between the blue Zerg Timbo Slice and the green Terran B-Breed. But if you only count ZVT, then in fact we have Timbo leading 3-2. So keep that in mind. B-Breed is either 2 or 4. Not sure how you guys want to keep track of this. I think ZVT is the main matchup, so let's just discount the off race, shall we? Let's call it 3-2. And let's call it a best of 7, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? This is the Clown Fiesta channel, so B-Breed going for a quick double gas. What was that drone doing? It was kind of weird. Goes for the extractor. And are we going to see another 3-hatch, or are we going to go more standard Timbo? Okay. Drops down the spawning pool. And very curious about this double gas. Are we going to see a BC opening? We haven't seen it today. And that might be a good time to throw that out there. Lull your opponent into a sense of security, and then yeah, maybe this is a good time to do that. I'm going to start things off with a Marine. Might be able to catch this Overlord, maybe? Let's see. As does come out, starts shooting at this Overlord, who starts making its way to that safety tower thing. And it's gonna be close. Uh-oh. Oh, is it gonna go down? Second Marine gonna join in, and... Huh! It's safe! Gotta be careful there, though, because Beebree can just lift up a barracks or something and spot that. But currently, got away. So, nice. Nice job there, Timbo, who is now going up to 3 bases. He has 100 gas, but not starting that link speed just yet. He's got creep tumors. No lings, doesn't really need them with the Marine opening. And does start off that speed there. And there we go. That's what we wanted. There is that starport. There is that fusion core. It is gonna be the battle cruiser opening. This Overlord here gonna be absolutely crucial. He needs to fly in and get that scout, and I do think it's in a prime position to do so. Need to float in soon, though, and is making its way towards the back here. And this Marine not gonna be in position to deny that scout, really. So Timbo gonna get that very important scout off, and I'm curious to see if Beebree continues with the plan here. A couple of Zerglings causing a ruckus. Not gonna find too much over there. I think they got nothing, rather. And yeah, Overlord gets the full scout off of the main base. 4 spore crawlers going down, 3 more queens in production, and yeah, that's pretty solid. 7 spore crawlers. That's insane. Timbo saying don't do it. Not sure what he's referring to. Beebree saying do what? Yeah, I don't know either. But Timbo committing heavily to the battlecruiser defense, and I don't blame him. But gotta watch out. Don't want to put yourself too behind. First battlecruiser gonna be popping out momentarily, and we'll see where he decides to go with that. It does teleport straight into the main, and Beebree goes damn, spotting that sport. What did you expect? I mean, Timbo had the scout way early, so battlecruiser not going to find any damage, at least initially. WTF? What is he talking about? Referring to the number of spores, or what? Yeah, so Timbo now droning up more. 19 just popped. Lots of queens here. Yeah, so not a lot going on. This one battle cruiser, I guess, hanging out, protecting this future third. Double armory going down. So it looks like we're gonna see mech once again. We've got only 2 factories right now. B-Breed, not the richest man at the moment. And Timbo with his 72 workers now. Going up to 5 bases. Kind of interesting that this new base already has the extractors, but this base with the that's already completed doesn't have extractors. Going for a spire and infestation pit. And B-Breed continuing the battlecruiser production now. He did stall it for a few minutes there. But starting that up once again, going for the 1-1 vehicle upgrades. And B-Breed with the supply lead, curiously enough. Timbo with a pretty nice worker lead, that's 79, but hasn't really been producing too many units aside from a couple Zerglings, I guess. And the army of Timbo consisting only of queens and lings. And sometimes that's all you need. Is he gonna go for some kind of Queen Nidus? That's kind of cool. He's getting ranged upgrades, but he doesn't have a Roach Warren or Hydra Den. So are we really gonna see a Queen Nidus? That's pretty cool. But no, it's gonna be Swarm Host? What are we seeing? Oh my god! Timbo is losing his mind, and this is pretty cool. Let's see if it works out, however. Swarm Host Nidus can be super hard to deal with, and it was at one point in the past like the only build that Zergs did, because the Nidus built faster, it was cheaper, units came out a lot quicker, and then Blizzard nerfed it because we can't have nice things. So it kind of fell out of fashion, but Timbo going for this now, and where's he gonna drop that Nidus is the question. And here we go. Outside of the third base of B-Breed, and I like this, to be honest. Go for the army. It's going to take a long time to rebuild. And B-Breed hears that scream. He's like, oh crap, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? He drops his scan. He looks in his main base. He has no idea. And now he finally sees it. Wow, Timbo going way deep there. Does need to get away with the Swarm Host now. And they do find a little bit of damage and run back into the Nidus, and yeah, that's all you need to do with it. Anything you pick off, that's free damage, because Locusts don't cost anything. Run back into the Nidus, and yeah, that's a little bit of lost money, but that's fine. Drop another Nidus over here, and does BB see this? No, just barely. Wow, that's a perfect spot. And he's gonna hear that scream now, and let's take a look at his camera. He doesn't even care, he's just barreling forward, and that might be the right move actually, going for where the Swarm Hosts are not. And Timbo running in a little too deep and not controlling the Locust, so they're just gonna spill out onto the floor here like so. Clean up the wall here, but what's he got against this Terran army currently? Now all his swarm hosts are on cooldown, except for this guy. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait for the cooldown, and uh-oh. Now found yourself in a sticky situation here. And yeah, I don't know. All these swarm hosts. Now, they do come off cooldown, so the locusts come out. Is it gonna be enough though? Lots of money in the bank, so Timbo starts up 21 more roaches. These locusts doing work, honestly, cleaning up most of the Terran army. And now he's just gonna send these swarm hosts to die, it looks like. But the roaches have arrived. And they don't even have speed yet, but they have 2/2 upgrades, and they're gonna clean up this army. Things were dicey though. Very dicey. Hydras show up as well. That's Timbo's spirit animal. They are gonna clean up this battle cruiser. They don't even have upgrades either. Curiously, he has adrenal glands. I don't think we've seen too many lings. There have been 4 lings lost in this game, and that's all that Timbo has made. But the Roach Hydra is going to clean up the rest of these tanks here. And things have somehow evened up. Timbo's actually behind in workers, 63 to 67. And gonna want to remake those drones. Yeah, you've got a nice bank, but can't bank on that for the whole game. So he does start up a couple more drones and a couple more buildings, so he's still behind. Lurker Den on the way, and that is the best use of these Hydras. Timbo wants to go for a fight. Gonna run into 4 tanks. Gonna lose a lot, but does clean those tanks up. And the army of B-Breed out of position, so he does show back up, but unsieged. Loses the 3rd base. And oh no, this fight from B-Breed. Not good. No bueno. Gonna lose everything. It looks like both players might just trade out their armies, but Timbo getting the better end of the deal there. Additional Hydras showing up, and that might just be too much for B-Breed to handle. Or not. I guess he's gonna... Or yes? I don't know what we're witnessing. Hydras do get another battle cruiser, and then they do turn around. And now Timbo, his gas bank has dried up. He is mining out of all these gases, but yeah, the gas bank pretty low, so he's forced to make more Zerglings. He is droning back up, 12 drones in production, trying to get these additional gases there. Still hasn't retaken this one. Is going for it, however. And no lurkers in production. I think it's going to make Timbo's life a little bit more difficult. But yeah, the problem now for B-Breed is his army has been knocked back quite a few times, and now 150 supply, that's not a lot. 85 army of mech is not scary compared to this maxed out Zerg, Lings and Hydras, and yeah, it might not be the best composition, but it's good enough, especially when you have this much of it. Timbo gonna go deep once again onto the Terran base, clean up all these SCVs, 42 of them. Gets that base as well, and he's just gonna vanish like a thief in the night. B-Breed did float his main base to this location. Not sure why it's so far from the minerals. What? Why? Why couldn't you land it at its proper spot? Alright, I don't know. But B-Breed feeling like he needs to get some damage done. Going for an attack. Tanks not sieged. And if you don't siege your siege tanks, they're just tanks. But mech is pretty good. So it does clean up the lings initially. Timbo's gonna need 14 lurkers. This is the Timbo special, morphing a bunch of lurkers. Then he's just gonna run in, burrow in your face. Doesn't care if he loses 3 or 4 in the process. But B-Breed gonna get on top of a few of these before they finish. But the rest do finish, and they are gonna be enough to perhaps push this back. Let's see. Yeah, the control decent enough from Timbo. Leapfrogging up, and now the tanks are gone. The Ling Hydra should be enough to just clean up the rest of this. B-Breed down to 62 supply, and it looks like we are on the verge of a 4-2 victory from Timbo Slice, who starts up 18 more lurkers. This absolute madman. Gonna burrow here on the high ground, pick off these 2 tanks. These are 2-2, almost 3-3 lurkers. They are slowly attacking this rocks. Now the rest of them join in. And oh my god, that's so many lurkers, 26 of them. He's just gonna, yep, do just that. Burrow right in the face of your opponent. Doesn't care if he loses them. GG gets called, and Timbo with the 4-2.